All right, we're going to open up the regular part of our meeting, the regular session. And we're going to start with the Pledge of Allegiance. And Mr. Lawrence, would you lead us in the pledge, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And I'd ask you to please remain standing for a second. Thank you, Mr. Lawrence. Just a few days ago, we lost a former member of our not teaching staff, but of our classified staff, Clara Soares, who was the secretary at Los Banos Junior High School when I started back in 1977 there. Great, wonderful lady, great employee, and she was quite the rock of the junior high school at the time, because you know how secretaries are. And she was the only secretary working in the office at the time. There was only one secretary at that school. And so she did everything. Quite a wonderful lady. She passed away just recently at the age of 99 and a half. Wow. So we just want to have a moment of silence in her memory. Thank you very much. Next item is the approval of the agenda. There is a couple of changes to one item. If you would go to new business, item D, authorization of teaching assignments. Tonight we're going to pull resolution 19-22 and 20-22. All the rest of the resolutions in that item are remaining the same. Dr. Marshall, do you have anything else?
No further changes.
Okay. With that, need a motion to approve the agenda with those changes.
I move that we approve the agenda with those changes. I'll second that.
All right, we got a motion by Member Benton, seconded by Member Smith to approve the agenda as changed. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And it is carried unanimously. Members of the public who would like to have the board place something on their agenda, you may do so by submitting your request to have an agenda item placed before the board by submitting that information to Dr. Marshall at least 2 weeks prior to a regularly scheduled board meeting, and your item will be taken up for consideration. Members of the public who are here tonight that wish to address any item on our agenda may do so when that item comes up before us. When that item is coming up before us, please come up to the podium and we will ask you for your comments. And also, if there's anybody here tonight that wishes to address the board on any item that is not on tonight's agenda, may do so by coming up to the podium, and you'll be called. You'll have 3 minutes to speak, also 3 minutes for agenda items, but also 3 minutes for non-agenda items. And if there are multiple speakers on the same topic, the maximum allowed of time is 20 minutes for each non-agenda item. That's also the rule for agenda items, 20 minutes public comment. If there's anybody here tonight that is here to speak to the board on any item that is not on tonight's agenda, please step forward. All right, seeing none, then we are going to go ahead and go on to reports, starting with the California School Employees Association. Seeing no one here, we will go on to the Los Banos Teachers Association report. Everybody's on vacation for summertime. Okay. There's no LBTA report tonight, but we do have our superintendent here, so he has a report. Dr. Marshall.
Okay. I hope that we're all enjoying the summer, a little break. We deserve it. It was a very challenging year, but very rewarding at the same time. In Los Banos, we have a great story, and this weekend I'm going to have a chance to kind of share that story on a national stage in Orlando this weekend. So, I'm going to share the LB story to a national forum, and at the same time pick up some things from other school districts across the country. So I'm looking forward to that experience this weekend. I wanted to share tonight, you see the screen, to basically give some an update kind of on some of our facility projects, the big projects. And we're very proud of these projects because you look at them going into year 6 this coming school year. And when you, as we go through some of these things, it's just kind of fun to kind of go back and look from what point we started and look to what's coming, what's upcoming. What you see on the screen right now, we're looking at the Henry Miller / FOT building parking lot, per se. And what that's going to do, we have a lot of our staff at Henry Miller, they park in the neighborhoods, directly around the school. That's been going on, I'm sure, for many years, right? Once this project is completed, now they will have somewhere to park. Basically right now you have situations where employees will park in the neighborhoods, and then if they work later, they may move their cars closer to the school. Like if you're like a night custodian or something like that, you may move closer to the school, to work later hours. Now, once this project is complete, the staff will be able to park within that parking lot. Additionally, the FOT will have buses there. Some of our facility parking will be there. So it'll be shared. It'll be a shared project. So I think that's a very welcome addition. I think they've been parking in the neighborhood for quite a few years. So that's going to change in the coming school year. Okay, next, please. All right, this is one, if you can all see it, this is the Pacheco High School classroom science wing. And that's the before picture. And I want to say when the school was completed, was it 2010? Am I right with my years? Okay, 2010. You see, if you look in that picture, you can see there's an area that's blank. There's a blank area. That was what you call value engineered out, because like you have a budget to build a school, and sometimes you don't have enough money to complete a project, so you have to take out certain parts of it. That part was taken out. Now there's a small building you see that you can see on the screen. That was added in 2018. That was some classrooms that we added to kind of accommodate growth. But thanks to the support of our taxpayers in our community, we're able to add to the science wing at Pacheco High School. Next slide, please. Now you can see it now. This is Pacheco High School now, going into next year. I mean, it really looks nice to see all the buildings. I mean, it really matches the buildings that were there. So that should accommodate about more than 200 students in this coming school year. All right? All right. Yeah, next one. Now, the final project I want to talk about is Lofton Stadium. Like what you see there behind the 2 students that are running on the track, you can see the condemned, I think that pool was probably condemned like in 2000, maybe 2000, maybe before that. I was trying to get the year properly. But anyway, you can see the pool building, the old pool itself. That's in the picture behind. And the first thing we did, on the next page, is that was demolished. That was the safety hazards. That was the first thing that was taken care of. And you can see now it's just an empty space. So the community has been asking, what are you going to put there? All right, so I'm going to show you what's going to happen next. Next, please. Phase 1 of the Lofton Stadium project is on the docket. And that building will have, that's a rendering. You can see they will have team rooms, a snack bar, public restrooms, and such. And you kind of can see the landscape and stuff. And that's what it looks like. So we want to thank the city of Los Banos for their cooperation with the project. Thank you to our citizens for coming out and supporting it. And I just think it's important sometimes for us to give these updates to the community to see that, we are stewards of resources and we do use our money for what it's supposed to be used for. So I wanted to share that. All right. One more? Okay, go ahead. One more. Here, that's another view of what it'll look like. So if you're in that neighborhood, you get to see this is what it's going to look like this is a rendering, but it'll look like this, very close to this, when it's finished. But we're pretty excited about these projects because all 3 have been a long time coming. And, so this next school year, those will be some of the biggies that will be on the science wing in Pacheco is almost done, but the stadium project and the parking lot Those will be some of the bigger projects. And there's more to come. But we just wanted to just give an update on things that we've been working on. All of this, we've also constructed Grasslands Elementary School. That's been done. That's another big one. That was Measure X. Thank you. And to kind of close, I'm going to do a message that kind of just talks about everything that happened since we left in June. That'll come out probably the last week in July. And other than that, have a good summer. That's my report.
Thank you, Dr. Marshall. Facility report. Is there anything left?
I don't have anything. Dr. Marshall took it.
He gave you a report, all right.
Yeah, he gave the report.
Thank you, Mr. McMullen. All right, board member reports. Let's start. Ms. Smith.
Okay. Good evening. How you guys doing? Enjoying the summer? Hot, huh? Yeah, my AC went out. Yeah. Oh. I have no board report tonight, but I do want to invite you to an event that's going to be taking place here in Los Banos on July 23rd at 6 p.m. at the community center. It's a group of parents that got together, and they're sponsoring a first annual gala, a mentorship gala for youth. They're targeting K through post-graduation from high school, and they're going to bring out some educators from our district. We'll have some of our staff there speaking at that event. They're bringing in some military groups. They're bringing in some local businesses in town and some out of town, and they're bringing in a couple colleges outside the area. And what their whole goal is to inspire youth in the city to want and encourage them to attend higher level of education. Hopefully you can come out and make it. Dr. Marshall, are you on the agenda? Are you gonna? I'll be there. You're gonna speak there?
Yeah.
And then some students that graduated from our college and went to, one was the HBCU graduate that we're really excited about. He's a member of my church. And we want to encourage the kids, of all types of kids. It doesn't matter who you are. There's going to be Jessica Moran. She's going to come out and speak, our board member that's on this board. And it's going to be a wonderful event. So come out and visit. It's a free event. They want to make it really kind of classy. And looking forward to come out. So it's free. It's from 6 to 8 p.m. on the 23rd at the Community Center here in Los Banos. So come on out if you're available. Thank you. That's all I have.
All right, July 23rd, 6 to 8 at the community center.
Yep.
Cool, thank you. Ms. Benton.
I have no report. I've been baking. That's about it.
You're quite the baker right now. All right, Mr. Munoz.
I have no report.
All
Thank
right.
you.
All right, Mr. Martinez.
Everybody's having fun. Well, welcome everyone. On June 20th, I attended a safety committee meeting. And during that meeting, the district, we're looking at different options at making our safety programs and school sites better and safer. And that's real important with everything that's going on. June 17th, I attended a facilities committee meeting. And again, we discussed these projects that we just saw on this slide. And we also discussed safe air options, which we're looking at. And again, it's another priority item to make sure that we're providing the safest air that we can on our school sites. On July 12th, I attended a CSBA webinar on COVID fund spending and management. And that information that was gathered from that webinar was gathered and forwarded to Dr. Marshall. But last but not least, I'd like to personally thank our whole district, Dr. Marshall and our whole school district, for championing out these last 2.5 years. They've been tough, but we've stepped up and we've pushed through, and I'm really proud of our school district for doing what they've done. And so we just need to continue working together as a team and as we navigate, what's ahead in the future for us. But that's my report.
All right, thank you. Mr. Leib.
Good evening. Just a couple things. I have enjoyed seeing all the students participate in the Los Banos Little League and all the All-Stars at various locations. Los Banos did host the 10-year-old. And I also have been going and following the Tiger Sharks swim team. And just to let everybody know that next weekend, Los Banos will be on the map. Tiger Sharks have their championship July 23rd and 24th at Pacheco High. So should be a lot of people from outside Los Banos coming here for that. So and enjoy the hot weather. Thank you. July 23rd and 24th, Pacheco High.
A lot of things happening on July 23rd. All right. So I have just a couple of comments. School's out for summer, but we do still have summer school going on. And so we have staff that are working and above and beyond what they normally do. Yes, it's an additional job, but they don't have to do it. But we always find staff who are willing to be administrators and be teaching the students in those programs. And I think, isn't LEAP going on this summer too? So we have LEAP staff working. So we have a lot of stuff going on. In addition, it's a major planning time of the year. Dr. Ritchie, sorry, but blank there. Dr. Ritchie's working on, curriculum for our chief academic officers, is working on getting curriculum set up and working with staff and administrators trying to get that ready for the next school year. So that's ongoing. Assistant Superintendent for Business, Mr. Iqbal, he's championing all the projects that we have going on in the districts and all the building projects, plus trying to make sure that the budget is working. Dr. Calzadias, like she said today, they hired 13 new teachers this week. And we still have staff, we still have empty holes. And so the whole HR department is working to fill all these staff positions. And of course, Dr. Marshall is overseeing everything. And the rest of our district office personnel are all working and making sure everything's working. So I just want to say thanks to all these people who are doing all this. Even though school's out for summer, there is a lot going on. And I know we have the principals that are still working at some of the sites, planning for next year also. And so again, thank you to everybody who's doing the planning for next year and finishing up what happened last year and getting us ready to start the school year. It's kind of hard to believe that we're only, I think, 5 weeks away from school starting. I think we're back on, was it August 3rd? I think it is, something like that. So it's going to be, well, actually not even that. It's like 3 or 4 weeks before we're back. So yeah, this is July. Yeah, it's coming fast. So thank you for all the work you guys are doing. I really appreciate it. All right, on to new business, school site reports. And we're having LEAP tonight.
All right, my name is Zach Cruz. I am the program supervisor for LEAP, and LEAP is the district's expanded learning program. Expanding learning is a somewhat new term, but it basically means before school, after school, and summer programs. So the change, if you're familiar with CDE, every few years they've got to change up terms. Sometimes it doesn't really make sense, but with expanded learning, just real briefly, why the change? For me, makes sense. Traditionally, it's an after-school program, and so it's always been called. The grant is called After-School Education and Safety. However, after-school doesn't encapsulate all that we do. We're before school, we're summer, as well as after-school. So that's one of the reasons behind the change from just calling it an after-school program to expanded learning. Additionally, and probably more importantly, after-school traditionally has I don't want to say stigma, but a branding of being separate from the school day. It's after school. Many times the old cliche saying is after school is an afterthought. So expanded learning, we know, happens. Learning happens during the after school hours. Learning happens during the before school hours. Support happens during the summer months. So instead of calling it an after school, afterthought program, it's an expanded learning program because we know, like I said, that support happens, learning happens during social emotional support happens during after school hours, during before school hours, and during the summer months. So that's one of the reasons behind the change from calling it after school to expanded learning. I think here at the district, we're closer than I have seen throughout my 20 plus years working in the field of realizing the full potential of the program, meaning being married with instructional time, having a real close relationship with what happens during instructional time in order to support students before and after school and during the summer months to provide the necessary supports. One of the key differences between different agencies that I work for is that we're one agency. Many districts throughout the state struggle with it. You have one agency in charge of instructional minutes. You have a different agency, a completely different agency in charge of expanded learning. And then obviously there's going to be a gap in communication, sometimes a gap in vision. We don't have to struggle with that here. So we're closer at realizing the full potential of the program and actually living up to the potential or the point in the funding. So I'm happy at that. A large part of that is because, like I said, we're one district, as well as the support that we get from administrators and the hard work that all the leaders do at each site. So each site has we have 7 different sites right now. Each site has a site leader and they do a tremendous job. So I'm going to quickly give a brief rundown of last school year. So we did our traditional things last school year, our traditional homework support, our traditional tutoring, field trips, enrichment, our cooking clubs, our drama clubs, our sporting clubs, all those things we did without fail. We'll continue to always do those. We're able to expand on that, which I'm happy to announce or talk about and brag about with you today. And I hope to continue to expand and increase our effectiveness, our impact on student lives. First off is MSC. We got MSC up and running successfully. We got it fully staffed, fully enrolled. I know that Ms. Carter reported that earlier in the year, and I was really happy and proud of her report on the hard work that the folks did over there. Additionally, each site, one of the 12 standards is youth voice and leadership. We really capitalize that at MSC, and you'll see we're going to have a quick slideshow, about a 1.5-minute slideshow, where you'll see some of the pictures further illustrate some of the things I'm talking about. So youth voice and leadership, where we actually take seriously the students' input on what they want to see happen. So for an example, at Mercy Springs, they wanted to do a carnival festival, and we made it happen. The students led it. The students were in charge of the games. The students were in charge of all of the prizes and things of that nature, and you'll see that. We also created a junior high snack shack where students were in charge of offering snacks during sporting events, and all the proceeds went into their student store where a student can earn sporting equipment or school equipment or school, pens, papers, whatever. Additionally, the youth mentoring club got started at the junior high and this is things that came out of the youth voice and leadership. They wanted to visit their old elementary schools. And so the leader said, okay, we're just not going to go hang out. What do you guys want to do? And at the same time, they were in STEM, in a STEM club. So they wanted to go to the elementary sites and facilitate STEM learning. So they did that. We actually created a youth mentoring club, and they started going out to elementaries and facilitating STEM learning with the younger students. STEM labs. So I know that you're familiar with the STEM labs. We got them going out at the elementaries. We did not have one at the junior high. We're always looking for new ways to keep students engaged in that age range specifically. 7th and 8th grade, as soon as that bell rings, they want to hit the streets. And we know it's more important for them to be in a safe, structured environment. So in order to do that at the junior high level, we need to keep it engaging, keep it fun. STEM labs is one of the things the students wanted. One of the things I talked with Mrs. Brazil, the principal there, and collectively, along with fiscal helping out, we got the funds in order to have a STEM lab. So twice a week at the junior high after school, there was a STEM lab operating. We also got STEM labs operating at the elementary schools. So at two of the 4 elementary schools for summer, we had STEM labs going. A level curriculum, SEL, physical activity program, we got that going. Additional field trips to the zoo, went to the tech. So STEM is a big thing, a big push in the state. At the junior high, we took after they did their STEM labs summertime program, we took them out to the tech, and they totally enjoyed that. There will be pictures of that. We're also able to provide, so our mandate is a 20-to-1 ratio, and if you've been with 20 kids after school, you know it's real difficult to do that one-on-one support that's needed. This last school year, we were able to get additional staffing with help from fiscal in order to provide some real intense one-on-one small group interventions, tutoring, homework support that was very, obviously needed after, coming out of the pandemic. So with that, I'd like to show the video real quick to further show. It's about 1.5 minutes real quick. Devices, we got new devices too. So one of the things with youth voice and leadership, it's important for us to actually, make it impactful, to not just say, hey, we're listening to what you say and then not doing anything with it. We really give them an opportunity to discuss what they want to do, and then we make it happen. You saw the student showing the badge. That was their idea. They wanted to have badges. They wanted to be important. They have adults coming in and out of their lives all day wearing badges, looking professional. We got them badges. They wore those badges every chance they got. They wore those badges to show off. Plus, the junior high students, we got them shirts. They made those shirts. They created those shirts themselves. So one of the hard parts of making that was, what do I put in? What do I do? And I have so many photos to illustrate all the great things that happen during LEAP. But that, in a nutshell, is a recap of the last school year. If you have any questions, I will take them. All right, thank you.
Wait,
Wait.
Ms. Benton.
Oh,
All right, Ms. Benton.
Just run off that quickly, sorry. Okay, do you have this program at both junior highs?
no, unfortunately, we don't. So the way that we get allocated funding is based on free and reduced price meal. So I have to apply for the school, and then they allocate funds based on the free and reduced price meal percentage. We're in competition with the entire state. So the reason why we haven't been able to get funding there is just the free and reduced price meal isn't high enough. So for example, the trademark or the usual cutoff is a free and reduced price meal around 82%. Now with COVID, there haven't been any grant reductions. They haven't been holding us accountable to our attendance mandates, which has worked out because attendance has been real shaky, especially with all the quarantines and things of that nature. So that doesn't free up any funds for new sites. That, in addition with a low FRPM, there is the reason why we haven't been able to get funding.
Okay, so can they come over to the other junior high? Is that possible, or?
That's a good question. Unfortunately, the ACES grant doesn't allow that during the 180 school days. We can do that during summer, but we can't do that during the school day. It's only schools that are awarded the grant can enroll students enrolled in that school.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, unfortunately, those are good questions.
Yeah,
I wish I had
too
more
bad.
flexibility. Yes.
Wait a minute. Yep, we have other people in line.
I'm just curious, how much money are we talking about here? When you say grant money, how much money does it cost?
Okay, so our grant is for 1.7 million.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Ms. Martinez.
Okay, I just had a comment, Mr. Cruz. The program looks pretty amazing, covering a lot of bases, a lot of technology in there and different things. And it's just impressive, so where do we sign up?
I appreciate it. Thank you. And actually, this is on me. I need to do a better job of reaching out to you to let you know the things that we got going on so you guys can come visit.
Thank you.
All right, the next is Ms. Smith.
Okay, Zach, I'm just wondering, is the TK program gonna be up and running this year? Are they gonna be able to use LEAP this year, looks like, from the schedule?
Yes, we're talking about the plan, the ELOP plan, which I think is next on the agenda. That is the goal, yes. It's going to be a building phase. Right now, we need to get fully staffed in order to just cover our current enrollment, you know what I'm saying? And then from there, I plan to expand, but that's definitely something I want to make happen as soon as possible.
Okay, is that 2022, 2023?
No, it's 2022, 23, this school year.
Wow, okay. That's brand new then, it's a new program
Yeah.
for TKs, huh? Okay, thank you.
All right, Ms. Benton again.
How about a STEAM program?
Yes, so we did get the STEAM going at the elementary schools for summer. So the same STEAM program that all the principals raved about is awesome. We did get that going during summer at the elementaries, and the junior high, with Dio's assistance and also some help from fiscal, we were able to free up the funds in order to get that going at the junior high. So I want to continue that. That is the plan. Matter of fact, I just got a note from Dio. Just let's make that happen, and so I plan to.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And for those out in TV land, STEAM is STEM with the added arts.
Right.
Which makes it STEAM.
Right.
So it's
So
nice.
the STEAM we already got going on,
Yeah.
but we do arts and crafts anyway. But actually, speaking of arts and crafts, that's something I want to expand on this upcoming year. That's something that's in my wheelhouse as far as not just arts, but maybe music or whatever. With this new ELOP that really frees us up to do a lot of amazing things.
Equally important.
Any other questions? Mr. Cruz, thank you. That was great. Appreciate that. Good to know what's happening out there. Before we go on to the next agenda item, whenever you whenever you mention things, you always forget something, and it's my apologies. Not only do we have a lot of staff working on curriculum and what's going to happen next year, but we also do have our maintenance department, which are sprucing up the schools and getting them looking good to start the school year. Our classified staff at each of the sites are working hard to get ready for next year, and the janitorial staff is getting ready to make their custodial staff are cleaning the rooms and touch up painting, and so we have a whole bunch going on with not just curriculum planning, but just spiffing up everything to make it look good. So when we start the year, it's going to be great when the kids come back. So my apologies for forgetting those. My mind works faster than my mouth, and so I think of all these things, and then sometimes it's past what I had a chance to say. So, and Marlene, did you have something you wanted to add?
You know what, I was just going to share that if anybody's interested, the California School Board Association posted in their weekly newsletter last week. They had the report of the COVID relief spending in California. So it gave a really good scenario of how the monies in California was spent for our COVID services that we provided to our students. And I think a lot of it had to do with people just weren't sure of where the money went. So they have a really nice report. It's online, CSBA, and it just explains how they spent that money and how well it was used, and it was utilized properly. So it was just good information to see for parents that didn't know where a lot of that money went. Yeah. That was it.
All right, thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you. So next up is our Expanded Learning Opportunities Program Plan. And guess we're having back Mr. Cruz.
Board of Trustees, good to see you again.
Long time no see.
All right, so what you have before you is the ELOP plan, which is Expanded Learning Opportunities Program Plan, and it's per ed code needs to be reviewed and approved by the school board in a public setting and then posted on our website. And in a nutshell, it's our plan on how we're going to expand services for students this upcoming school year and into the future. Do you have any questions?
All right. It's going to be really cool. It's going to be nice. It's kind of exciting. Any questions? All right. We got a motion by Member Benton, seconded by Member Martinez, to approve the Expanded Learning Opportunities Program Plan. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? And it is carried unanimously. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Cruz. Variable term waivers. Dr. Calzadias.
Good evening. Excuse me. Current regulation governing counselors requires that a notice of intent to employ an applicant be made public and that a copy of that notice be submitted with the permit requested. In this case, I'm asking or recommending that the board approve a variable term waiver, which will allow the following assignments for the 22-23 school year. Merritt Carter, an elementary counselor, and Karina Herrera-Smith, that actually should be a middle or junior high counselor. These two individuals, this is actually the second year of their waivers, and you approved their waivers last year. So I am asking for your approval for the variable term waivers.
All right, thank you, Dr. Calzadias. Any questions? Motion, please. We got a motion by Member Martinez, seconded by Member Lieb, to approve the variable term waivers. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? And it is carried unanimously.
Thank you.
On to item D, authorization of teaching assignments. And I'll remind the board that the resolution number 19-22 and number 20-22 were pulled from this list. Dr. Calzadias.
Any teaching assignment that is outside of a teacher's major or minor area has to be acknowledged and approved by the Board of Trustees. We bring these to you every summer for your approval, so it's recommended the board adopt resolutions number 21-22 through 32-22, approving waivers for identified staff to teach outside of their credential authorization areas pursuant to Education Code Sections 44256A and B.
All right, any questions? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to accept.
I'll second.
All right, we have a motion by Member Smith, seconded by Member Benton, to adopt resolutions number 21-22 through 32-22. This is a roll call vote. Tina?
Ms. Benton?
Yes.
Mr. Lieb? Mr. Martinez? Ms. Moran? Mr. Munoz? Ms. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Pura?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tina.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Dr. Calzadias. Let me get the page here. This is a 462-page agenda, so it takes me a while to get through the next section here. All right. On. And I went too far. Sorry about that. All right, on to item E, the bid award for the HME parking lot. Ms. Strickball.
Good evening. This is the bid award for McElvany for the construction of HME parking lot. Staff is asking for approval.
Any questions? This is what Dr. Marshall shared with us a little while ago. Just those people that don't have the paperwork in front of them, this is a $925,000 parking lot, almost a $926,000 parking lot. It's amazing what stuff costs these days.
But it includes fencing and lighting.
It has fencing and lighting, which we need to have there, but it's a lot. Yeah, not just lots of asphalt. All right. Need a motion?
I'll make a motion that we approve the award.
I'll second.
Got a motion by Mr. Lieb, seconded by Ms. Smith to approve the bid for HME parking lot. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And it is carried unanimously. On to item F, a bid award for the Phase 1 of Lofton Stadium. Ms. Strickball.
This is the bid award for BMI construction for the construction of Lofton Stadium Phase 1 project. We had two bids. The lowest was BMI, 6.9 million, and DD was the second one, 7.6 million. So staff is asking for approval.
All right, and the request is to approve the low bid
Lowest bid,
from
yeah.
BMY Construction of $6,797,000.
6,900,000, 6.9.
6.9, yes. A lot of money, but so needed, and it's going to be a great addition to Lofton Stadium. Can't wait to see it. Questions? Motion?
I move that we approve the bid award.
We've got a motion by Member Benton, seconded by Member Lieb, to approve the bid award for Phase 1 of the Lofton Stadium to BMY Construction Group. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It is carried. On to item X, the consent calendar. These are things that we do every month, and we throw them all together in one big motion, rather than have you listen to us talk about the next 20 items that are just routine. So with that, are there any pulls? Because we can pull something and talk about it if necessary. Dr. Marshall?
No polls.
No pulls. Anybody pull here? All right, seeing none, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll second.
We have a motion by Member Martinez, seconded by Member Benton to approve the consent calendar as listed. All those in favor? Oh, excuse me, it's a roll call vote. Tina?
Ms. Benton?
Yes.
Mr. Lieb?
Yes.
Mr. Martinez? Ms. Moran? Mr. Munoz? Ms. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Pura?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tina. Next item is item 11, which is reporting closed session action items. And there were no action taken in closed session, so we have nothing to report there. Item number 12, discussion information and future agenda items. Anybody have anything?
I have one thing.
Yes, sir.
Now that we've done the consent calendar, I have some introductions. There were several assistant principals that were hired tonight, and they're here, so I want to recognize them. Please stand when I call your name. We have Veronica Turos. She's assistant principal, Mercy Springs. Welcome. Jessica Ramirez, assistant principal, Westside Union Elementary School. Renee Barton, assistant principal, Lorena Flosco Elementary. Maria Garcia Rodriguez, assistant principal, Henry Miller Elementary. So I think that concludes my list.
All right. Well, congratulations, everybody. Thank you for being here and have a great year. All right, moving on. Next item is closed session, which we don't need to go back because we finished our closed session. So the next item after that is report of what we just did in the closed session we were supposed to have that we didn't need to have, so we didn't have it. So there's no report. And the next item is, can you believe this? At 7:45, we are in adjournment. Enjoy the summers. Take care, everybody. Thanks for being here. Good night.